Indeed, I proudly announce the greatest thought of mine. It is I alone, the one and only, the thought of thoughts. It is none other but myself alone, the thought of thoughts. My highness is the thought of thoughts, my crown is the thought of thoughts, my throne is the thought of thoughts, my chair is the thought of thoughts, and myself is the thought of thoughts. My hair is the thought of thoughts, my heartbeat is the thought of thoughts, and my brain clicks is the biggest thought of thoughts, and my bollocks is the thought of thoughts, and my bowls is the thought of thoughts, and my sack is the thought of thoughts, and my tar food, the humbler food, is the thought of thoughts. And the shadow of mine is the thought of thoughts, and the bone of mine is the thought of thoughts, and the flesh of mine is the thought, and the hair of mine is the thought of thoughts. I am the thought artist. You heard of thought artist? If you ever heard of thought artist, then that self is going to be you're good. Me, myself, and I, the one and only. You're good, you're good. Myself is the biggest thought artist going. I said, one of my thought, such a devastating blow that it shakes the heaven and earth, and it shakes the earth to heaven, and heaven to earth. This is the kind of thought artist I am. It's a kind of massive thought man I am. I said, 880,000 nuclear and atomic bombs will never ever equal to one of the thought of mine. This is how deadly devastating just a single thought of mine is. With a single thought of mine, I literally split it up, every grain and every inch, and every girth and every width and every length of the ball earth. That's the kind of thought artist I am. And there isn't anything equal to me. I'm one and only the most supreme thought artist after all. Being the supreme, the most massive thought artist ever existed. The supreme, the most massive ever will remain to exist. And the supreme, the most massive thought artist ever existing. Being that one and only thought artist. I said, 880,000 nuclear and atomic bombs will do way less damage than a single thought of mine. This is how utterly devastating a thought that comes out from the food of the tar food of mine. This is from me, myself, and I, the one and only thought artist of all the thought artists. And I do inevitably say the thought artist myself is the biggest thought artist after all. To have a similar thought artist like myself takes years and years and years.
Ever since I first stepped through the door behind me as Prime Minister, I have striven to make the United Kingdom a country that works not just for a privileged few, but for everyone, and to honour the result of the EU referendum. Back in 2016, we gave the British people a choice. Against all predictions, the British people voted to leave the European Union. I feel as certain today as I did 3 years ago that in a democracy, if you give people a choice, you have a duty to implement what they decide. I have done my best to do that. I negotiated the terms of our exit and a new relationship with our closest neighbours that protects jobs, our security and our union. I have done everything I can to convince MPs to back that deal. Sadly, I have not been able to do so. I tried 3 times. I believe it was right to persevere, even when the odds against success seemed high. But it is now clear to me that it is in the best interests of the country for a new Prime Minister to lead that effort. So I am today announcing that I will resign as leader of the Conservative and Unionist Party on Friday the 7th of June, so that a successor can be chosen. I've agreed with the party chairman and with the chairman of the 1922 committee that the process for electing a new leader should begin in the following week. I have kept Her Majesty the Queen fully informed of my intentions, and I will continue to serve as her Prime Minister until the process has concluded. It is, and will always remain, a matter of deep regret to me that I have not been able to deliver Brexit. It will be for my successor to seek a way forward that honours the result of the referendum. To succeed, he or she will have to find consensus in Parliament where I have not. Such a consensus can only be reached if those on all sides of the debate are willing to compromise. For many years, the great humanitarian Sir Nicholas Winton, who saved the lives of hundreds of children by arranging their evacuation from Nazi-occupied Czechoslovakia through the Kindertransport, was my constituent in Maidenhead. At another time of political controversy, a few years before his death, he took me to one side at a local event and gave me a piece of advice. He said, "Never forget that compromise is not a dirty word. Life depends on compromise." He was right. As we strive to find the compromises we need in our politics, whether to deliver Brexit or to restore devolved government in Northern Ireland, we must remember what brought us here. Because the referendum was not just a call to leave the EU, but for profound change in our country. A call to make the United Kingdom a country that truly works for everyone. I'm proud of the progress we have made over the last 3 years. We have completed the work that David Cameron and George Osborne started. The deficit is almost eliminated. Our national debt is falling, and we are bringing an end to austerity. My focus has been on ensuring that the good jobs of the future will be created in communities across the whole country, not just in London and the South East, through our modern industrial strategy. We have helped more people than ever enjoy the security of a job. We are building more homes and helping first-time buyers onto the housing ladder, so young people can enjoy the opportunities their parents did. And we are protecting the environment, eliminating plastic waste, tackling climate change, and improving air quality. This is what a decent, moderate, and patriotic Conservative government, on the common ground of British politics, can achieve, even as we tackle the biggest peacetime challenge any government has faced. I know that the Conservative Party can renew itself in the years ahead, that we can deliver Brexit and serve the British people with policies inspired by our values. Security, freedom, and opportunity. Those values have guided me throughout my career. But the unique privilege of this office is to use this platform to give a voice to the voiceless, to fight the burning injustices that still scar our society. That is why I put proper funding for mental health at the heart of our NHS long-term plan. It's why I'm ending the postcode lottery for survivors of domestic abuse. It is why the race disparity audit and gender pay reporting are shining a light on inequality, so it has nowhere to hide. And it is why I set up the independent public inquiry into the tragedy at Grenfell Tower, to search for the truth, so nothing like it can ever happen again, and so the people who lost their lives that night are never forgotten. Because this country is a union, not just a family of 4 nations, but a union of people, all of us. Whatever our background, the colour of our skin, or who we love, we stand together, and together we have a great future. Our politics may be under strain, but there is so much that is good about this country. So much to be proud of. So much to be optimistic about. I will shortly leave the job that it has been the honour of my life to hold. The second female Prime Minister, but certainly not the last. I do so with no ill will, but with enormous and enduring gratitude to have had the opportunity to serve the country I love.
It is I alone, the Almighty God. God Almighty Three is my Highness, King of Kings I am, Lord of Lords I am, the Creator and the Sustainer of the seven heavens and the throne, the chair and the gardens and the hells and the angels and the souls. Everything of the heavenly domain to the earthly domain and to the earthly domain to the heavenly domain. All that glorifies the highness of me, myself, and I. That's the kind of one I am, and that's the kind of monarch I am, that's the kind of royal I am. Indeed, I am the Queen of Queens, and I love my daughters. All the daughters of mine who are serving in the political realm and all the powerful chairs and offices, my heart nourishes their heart, and my soul nourishes their soul. I am the Almighty, the Supreme, the Most One. It is I alone, billions and billions of light years and earthly and heavenly time ago, I gave birth to this earth. And it is I alone, billions and trillions and zillions and a number of light years thereafter, I've given death to this everything. Death to this earth and death to the heavens. Then I brought it back again, alive, to show the power of your God. The power of mine is infinite. The power of mine is infinite. It goes on forever and ever. I am great, I am supreme, I am high. I am massive, I am majestic, I am full of pride, full of shine, full of arrogance. Just the way the sun is shining, the brightest ever, and the brightest star that shines in the brightest fashion ever. Exactly like that, I, the God Almighty Three, the God of gods and the Lord of lords, I shine in that shining star, and I shine in that shining sun. I am who I am. I was who I was. I will always be who I will always be. The same old self. I love you all, my sons, and take my kisses again. Enjoy, enjoy, enjoy.